So Elsie was initially due on the 4th of August, but things didn't happen. She didn't come. So I was planned to be induced. So I was planned to be induced on Monday the 13th of August. We were told to go to hospital at 8 AM where everything would happen. So we arrived at the hospital. I was put on a monitor, and just like a monitor baby, make sure everything was okay, heartbeat was okay, which was fine. That would happen for half an hour. And then I was told that I need to go and have a scan just to check her out, because initially in my pregnancy she was breech for a while, 37 weeks, and I had to have an ECV to turn her around. So I just wanted to make sure that she'd stayed in position and everything was okay with her. So we went down and we had a scan, and she was fine. She was the right way up and everything was fine. So we were told to go back to the room where we were before. So we went back to the room, and the midwife there said that she would do an internal just to check me over, make sure everything's okay before she induced me. When she did the internal, she found out, she said that I was 2 centimetres dilated already, so that she performed a sweep to see if she can get things going. I initially had a sweep on the Friday before. This was the Monday, so yeah, the Friday before I had a sweep, which is unsuccessful. So she said she'll try and see if she could do one and get things going. So she performed the sweep, which was successful, painful but successful, and then she inserted the pessary, which is, it's like a small piece of paper. It's about this big, and then it has like a long tail, kind of like a tampon but smaller, and that was which would hopefully start labour. So she said that could take up to 24 hours to work, but at this stage we'd gone so overdue that we were willing to try anything. So she inserted the pessary, and I had to lay down for about 15 minutes just to make sure it stayed in place, nothing moved. That was fine. And then I was put back on the monitor for another half an hour just to make sure that baby was okay, heart rate, everything was fine. So we did that. I came back, midwife said baby's fine, very active, still moving lots, so that was all good. She said that we could then go and sit in the birthing centre, because they have a little kitchen in there. She would go and sit in there, get some food, chill out for a bit, and just to make sure I feel okay, and then once I feel okay we can go home. So we went down to the birthing centre, sat there for a while. I ate a yoghurt. It was only there for about 15 minutes. I started to get a really dull backache, and I thought surely it's too early for the pessary to have started working. I thought it was just where I've been laying on the hospital bed and getting uncomfortable. So I said to Lee, we'll go home, we'll get comfortable and we'll wait it out. So we went home. The drive home, the pain in my back got worse. It's kind of, and it started going around to the front of my stomach. It's kind of like a period pain but stronger, but I still really, it didn't click. I still thought, oh, I've got loads of time left. So we went home and decided to have something to eat, because I haven't really eaten anything apart from the yogurt all day, and by this time it was probably coming up to lunchtime, maybe about 11 o'clock. So Lee went and bought me a meal deal, and I literally had about 4 mouthfuls of the whole thing, because the pain was just getting worse and worse, and I thought it was all in my head. So I come and lay in bed, and I couldn't get comfortable at all. The pain was just really bad, and I thought, right, you know what, I'll start timing them just in case it is contractions, in case something's happening. At least I've got something to tell the midwife. So I downloaded an app on my phone, contraction timer, and I started timing the pains and the contractions. And initially they're all over the place, so I just thought, it's fine, it will ease, and then I can get some sleep, and then hopefully things will happen later. But within about 15 minutes the pains and the length of them came on pretty strong and pretty quick. So I think they were lasting at this point they were coming every 1 to 2 minutes. So I felt like there was no gap in the contractions whatsoever. I felt I couldn't get any relief. I told Lee, and he was panicking, so he rang the midwife at the birthing centre, explained all my symptoms. She said to bring me straight back, and initially I didn't want to go back because I thought, I'm going to go back, I'll only be 3 centimetres dilated. She'll say, go home, you're fine, you've got a long time. But Lee was adamant we went, and the midwife was adamant that I came in. So we got the bags and we went back to the hospital. At this point the pain was becoming very, very intense. Got back to the birthing centre, walked in, the midwife took us to a examination room, and she said she would check me over, do an internal just to see what was going on. So she did the internal and said I was about 3 to 4 centimetres dilated at that point, and that she could feel the baby's head slightly. Obviously it was a long way to go, it was just what she did on her internal. So she gave me some paracetamol, trying to ease the pain, which didn't even touch the sides, and said to me to go and have a walk around the hospital grounds for about half an hour. This was hard work. We walked outside, and a 2-minute walk, what would usually take 2 minutes, took me about 20 minutes because I had to stop every second, it felt like every second, for contractions, and I just couldn't do it. The pain was so intense. So I said to her, we have to head back. So we walked back. On the way back I felt an overwhelming sensation to be sick. So Lee rushed into the hospital, tried to get the midwife, tried to get some sick bowls, which was too late because while he was in there I'd already been sick. Came back out, midwife with him, and they said, right, we can go back inside now, a room's ready for you. We were in a birthing centre, so it's different from a labour ward. You don't have to wait for a bed to become available, you have rooms, and there was 4 there. So we went back in there and we went straight into the room where I was going to give birth. There was another midwife came in, and she wanted to check me over too. She had a feel in my stomach, and she said that she thought the baby was back to back. So she said to sit over the birthing ball, like lean over it, to try and get the baby to turn around so she was in like an optimal position to be born. That was fine. I was also, given gas and air at this point, which really helped. I wasn't expecting it to, but it really, really helped. Took a lot of the pain away. So I was leant over the birthing ball with the gas and air. I think I did this for about 45 minutes. And then the midwife had gone by then. She came back in. She said to me, right, would you like to get in the pool now? Which, them words, I just really, really was like relieved. I was like, yes, please. So she said, right, get changed and you can get in, which was fine. So stood up, and I could, because of the pain, I couldn't really get my leggings off. So Lee helped me with my leggings, and as he pulled them down, my waters broke. So I've never had waters break before naturally. With the other 2 girls, the hospital midwives had to break them for me. So I had no feeling for what it was going to be like. Stood up, big gush of water, and I was like, I think that's my water. She was like, yeah, baby must have moved and she must be in the right position now, which was quite a relief. Then I could get into the pool, which was lovely. So I walked over to the pool, and some of my waters went again, which was fine, she said. Climbed into the pool and still had the gas and air, and I was, after this bit, it was a bit hazy. I don't remember much. I thought I was only in there a little while. So yeah, I don't remember much about the next part. It was all a bit hazy. I don't know if it was the gas and air or the pain, but the next thing I remember, I was been in the pool, and then it seemed literally 5 minutes, and 2 other midwives came into the room and went behind me, because I was laying over the side of the pool with the gas and air, and Lee was in front of me, and I felt an urge to push, and I said to the midwife, I really feel like I need to push. And she was like, well, go on then. And I was like, is my baby coming? She was like, yeah, in a minute. I was like, Oh my God. So she said to me, when you have them urges, push. I was pushing and pushing, and she said to me, okay, catch your baby. And I looked down and my baby's in the water, and I scooped her up and she was here. On my notes it said that the stage 3, so the pushing stage, took 10 minutes, which was really quick because I was in 15-hour labour with my first, with Taya, and I was in 4 hours with Tiana. I don't know the whole time I was in labour, but from established pushing, it was 10 minutes. So it was a pretty quick labour. It was a pretty quick day. Initially, like I said, I thought the whole thing was going to take 24 hours or more. No, we went at 8 AM, was induced at 9 AM, and she was born at 4:29 PM. So we had our beautiful baby girl. She was born at 4:29. She weighed 6 pounds 8, and she was perfect in every way. So that was my labour story. Hopefully you'll stick around and subscribe if you enjoy my videos, and subscribe if you want to see more of my baby. So I'll see you in my next video.